G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are back out here in Queensland and we have got a 1100 horsepower F6 Typhoon. So this is right up my alley. I'm pretty keen for this one today. We're gonna meet the owner, so he's right here, Andrew, and thanks brother for bringing down the car. And
you're welcome.
yeah, this, again, I personally own an F6 Typhoon, only about 500 horsepower, but to see one that's 1100 horsepower,
It's a little bit different.
What have you done to this thing? Because that is some serious power.
Okay, basically nothing is stock. Everything has been replaced on it. This motor is rated to well over 1,000 kilowatts, big turbo, power glided, rear end's been done,
Yep.
massive fuel system, and the thing just hooks.
Yeah.
And it scares the crap out of me.
And that is a very big turbo.
It's a GT47.
Far out.
So
yeah, I was gonna say, you know, when you have a B Series, especially getting that kind of power, you do basically have to just
basically
touch everything.
Yes. Leave nothing unturned, because as soon as you do something big,
Yeah.
you gotta do the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And next thing you know, your car's a complete shell, and you've pulled the entire car apart.
Yeah. and obviously you've got the right tire setup on this.
Yes.
Straight E85.
Yes.
You know, big exhaust sound is nice.
Yep.
And transmission wise,
Transmission is a powerglide.
Yep.
It's built by Mr. Trans, the Gold Coast. It's running a TCE converter as well. And it's my first powerglide car, and I don't think I'll ever go back. It's just so fun and easy to drive.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, this thing is wild. I'm pretty keen for us to go out for a drive. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, let's fire this thing up
Yep.
and hit the road.
Sounds good.
Sweet. Man.
So, yeah.
1100 horsepower
Yeah, man.
in a B Series F6 Typhoon, man. Yeah, you don't see this every day.
No.
No, and yeah, the inside as well feels so familiar, but that pull is it's a little bit more than I'm remembering.
Yeah. Yeah, with that big converter, like you can drive around quite easily, just cruise around, but once that converter starts stalling up and that turbo comes on,
Yeah, just as we're kind of cruising, it does feel just very
yep,
standard.
yeah.
Like,
I can drive this to the Gold Coast on the 100Ks, just sit there and just cruise along,
yeah.
and it's none the wiser, like, you know, but once you put your foot down,
Yeah, it wakes up.
things happen.
Absolutely. Holy.
I've had this car since 2012.
Yep.
And I can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Everyone's I talk to, my friends and family, you got to get rid of your car. You know, I can't.
Nah.
I am that
The
attached
instant
to it.
regret.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And because you're telling me you've done a few things as you've had ownership.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
as of this stage, you haven't had it yet to the drag strip.
Not the drag strip yet. No.
I reckon this thing would do well.
It'll do very well. The only thing is, yeah, when I do go to the drag strip, I'm going to go in a few times just to get in there slowly,
Yeah.
just to learn.
Yeah.
Because I'm still driving it. It's still scaring the crap out of me.
Yeah. If it doesn't scare you a little bit,
Yeah.
you need to get a different car, up the power or something. Because yeah, you definitely got to have some fright/respect, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And yeah, even though I've owned this car for 13 years, it still scares me.
Yeah. Well, it's 1100 horsepower. It should.
Yeah, exactly. Drive it fairly easily, but so
It's smooth.
it's smooth, yeah.
And it's quite linear, which I like.
yeah. Exactly.
I mean, you got the right tires for it, obviously.
Yes,
but
yeah.
it's not like waiting, and then all of a sudden it's just
yeah.
you're just trying to control this thing. That
Yeah.
actually does feel like it comes on pretty solidly.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I watched that, it really does. Yeah, it's from like $5,000. It seemed like it really
Yeah.
starts to come on.
Yeah.
But I guess being to 2-speed.
Yeah.
You've got it just goes and doesn't stop.
Yeah, yeah. And when I sort of did build the car, I made sure everything complemented each other. So it's got, you know, the big motor, big turbo, but the converter is also matched to everything. So when I got the converter made for the car, he wanted to know all the information, and I gave him as much as I can, so that is now matched to the car. So we get that linear power.
Yeah.
And the car's tuned by Force Performance up in Toowoomba.
Yep.
They've got some of the fastest barras in Australia.
Yeah.
It just, yeah, as I said, it comes on.
It's actually the first time I've been in a big horsepower barrel with a 2-speed powerglide too.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only the 1300 horsepower VF
Yep.
Holden that I did a year ago, roughly, I think in Melbourne.
Yep.
That was 1300 horsepower, and it had a 2-speed and a big turbo as well.
Yep.
And yeah, it was an unreal feeling just building in first, and then as soon as you hit it up into second, it's just
Yep.
hold the f on.
Yeah.
It just goes, man.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop. Like
No.
you hit that second gear, and
It's really like first gear, you're like, okay, damn, this thing goes.
Yep.
But then as soon as you hit it in a second, it's like warp speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Millennium Falcon type stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Here we go.
You can tell, like, it wants to go.
Yeah.
Like, it wants to go.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
but it's so fast
Yeah.
that, yeah, in Nanny State, Australia, you go to jail in this thing.
Yes.
Right to jail, right away.
You can imagine, just
Yeah, definitely.
being able to open it up.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's just, and like with turbo cars, it's not that instant power you get, it's that rolling.
Yeah,
feeling.
it is that rolling acceleration, that
Yeah,
torque.
yeah. I've been in Teslas before, and it's just,
It's not the same. I've driven multiple Teslas, and
there's no soul.
no, it's like I could not care less how quick you do whatever in a Tesla.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, it kicks you in the seat for the first couple times, and then
Yep.
you're like, well, that was boring.
Yeah.
You know, it just
Yep.
there's no aliveness to it. With this, you've got to really focus on what you're doing. You know,
Yep.
you got to change the gear up.
Yep.
You got to focus on the traction.
Yep.
Like how much pedal you're inputting. Those things, you just flat foot it, and then it does everything itself.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no driving.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
not anywhere close to the same.
Not at all. And like this thing, I remember you're just sitting on a set of lights, and Tesla pulled up right beside me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And because it is so noisy, as I've started to take off, they've floored it. Like, yeah, it's game on. And I've just
Oh,
planted
you'd
this
catch
thing.
him easy.
And yeah,
This thing would catch him, no worries.
I blew past him pretty fast.
You'd have to be in a bloody Plaid or something.
Yeah.
That'd be
yeah,
the only ones that would really get ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be interesting because you're too. Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. But subscribe to find out. So
Yes.
we're about to do that. 0 to 100 now. We will see what this thing gets, because 2-speed with this kind of power is gonna be interesting. We got the right rubber at least. Way to go. Go, 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 go. 5 seconds flat.
Yeah. You can see it's very laggy and stuff, then once it gets up there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's that's the thing with this setup. Yeah, it doesn't really kick on until you're quite high up, which
Yeah.
is probably a good thing in terms of driveline and everything.
Yes.
But yeah, it's like you'd have to figure out you'd have to play around with this thing to get a really
Yeah.
low time.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Yeah, it does, because of the big turbo as well.
Yeah.
It does have to build the boosters. So yeah.
Yeah.
You almost need to have some sort of like launch control, like
Anti-lag, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like eventually I'm going to go to a Heltec ECU,
Yeah.
which will help that.
yeah,
But you know, it just comes down to money at the moment.
yeah, absolutely. And, you know, still 5 seconds in a big car like this.
Yeah.
It's actually about what my car does. I recently just did a 4.9.
Yeah.
But that's the difference, guys. Again, when you're running, you know, sometimes big power on 0 to 100.
Yeah.
It's not what this is about.
No.
You know, 100 to 200 is probably less than 5 seconds as well. So,
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
You know, that's the real trick of this thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, now in the driver's seat,
Yep.
we're gonna give you a C-Tech battery charger though, man, because
Yes,
again, C-Tech's been sponsoring us, and this thing's obviously not a daily.
No.
So when it's parked away,
Yes.
want to make sure this thing starts every time. So
Thanks, man.
charge it up when it's in the garage.
Yep.
And yeah, these things really come in handy,
Yep.
especially when you go away or you
Yep.
leave it for too long.
Yep.
Absolutely. So
Yep.
guys, link down below for C-Tech. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring us. Get one for yourself. This thing, eh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It really does feel quite safe. Like,
Yeah.
you do need a big stretch of road
Yes.
because it does kind of take a while for the turbo to start getting going. But yeah, wow, like once it's going,
Yep.
it's good, man.
Yeah. It is, man.
That's addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Man, yeah, if you're on the right road with this thing, man, it's a blast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, it's kind of weird because with a 2-speed, you almost don't even really look at the revs. Really, you just listen to it because it's because it's only a 2-speed.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. I don't
Yeah.
even actually know how these things work. I really need to study the operation of actually a 2-speed because it's just weird how it can just seemingly pull forever.
Yeah.
Like it just keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think there's a lot of wizardry and magic happening.
There
down
is definitely. That's why you need the brake setup.
Yes.
But the brakes work well. Yeah, and it's really just making sure you're on an empty, quiet road.
Yes.
That has a good runway to it.
Yeah.
But in terms of even just, you know, the way it tracks and the way it pulls, like feels very safe.
Yeah.
Like I got tons of traction, it feels like.
Yeah.
And it's very progressive and linear, so
Yeah.
very predictable.
Yes.
Yeah, which is good. Sometimes you get in these things and nothing, then it's like you're kicking out sideways.
Yeah.
And it scares the hell out of you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Definitely.
this is like, it's definitely gets your heart rate going, but it's like you know you're pretty, as long as you got that right spot.
Yeah.
Pick your spot well.
Yeah.
And yeah, the box it's nice, smooth,
Yeah.
easy.
Well, when I first put it back on the road, because I'd basically ripped the whole car apart and hadn't got it aligned properly with the setup I was running on my 20s, it was scary. It was actually dangerous because the alignment wasn't done properly. You put your foot down, it was doing this, it was going sideways.
Yep.
It was very unpredictable, but took it back to a suspension shop and got the whole car aligned, and now it's just perfect.
Yeah, I gotta say, everything does feel pretty tight on this thing, and it does feel like standard Falcon in terms of, I feel like suspension, like going around the corners, like you feel the thing lean.
Yeah.
But you get that squatting effect, to hook up a bit.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Wow, and it is just like pure listening to it, just one smash up.
That's it.
And then you can really just lay into it.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing, I guess, with the way you've set up the suspension and you've got the tires.
Yeah.
And the way it's progressive and feels safe.
Yeah.
You've got traction in this thing, so I actually feel like I could almost flat foot this thing there, and I'm like, man, it's just hauling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just becomes a matter of,
A
How big are your cojones to like keep going?
Yeah, exactly.
What an absolute beast.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys. Well, look, we're gonna finish the video off here. So again, Andrew,
Yes.
thank you, brother.
No,
this
thank you.
is an absolute beast. What a treat to check this car out because, again, I hope maybe one day my F6 will be something to this level because, yeah, that is a rush hitting second in this thing. It's just wild.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to dial this thing in even more. And when you get it to the drag strip, I want to know what it did because this thing could be really insane, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, that 100 to 200, that's
where it's going to be at, yeah.
That second gear is just crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing is wicked, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. We'll see you guys on that next video. Take care. You give it one punch.
Yep.
You don't want to. You want to make sure it's no cops on the other side because this thing's doing like
Right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail.